As he noted, we are the new kids on the block here. I'd like to introduce you to Solgari. We're the Dynamics 365 and Microsoft Teams all-channel communication solution. So what we're really focused on doing is bringing contact center functionality across Microsoft Teams and D365, and we'll be jumping into that a bit today. But you can see on the screen the agenda for today. I'll quickly introduce you to Solgari and some of our current partnerships we have around the globe, as well as just a breakdown of our solution architecture and how we really fit within the Microsoft ecosystem. We'll jump into a quick demo video. I won't show you all of it. It's about 5 minutes. We'll probably break down about 2 or 3 minutes of it, and then bring this all back into why working with Solgari actually is going to benefit you as a partner and obviously benefit your customers on the long-term scale. And then we do have an SMB offering that you'll be able to find, whether they're a Teams user or a Dynamics user, and that's going to be available on the Companion Marketplace. And of course, if we have time for Q&A, we'll leave the floor open for that as well. So let's just dive in. Just to quickly introduce Solgari, we are a Microsoft Inner Circle partner. And we are an Inner Circle partner because we're the first all-channel cloud communications ISV with zero-touch setup within Dynamics, Microsoft Teams, or with any browser. So what that means is that we're bringing channels like voice, video, chat, SMS, and third-party social solutions. So think WhatsApp, think Facebook Messenger, Line, Twitter even. We're bringing all of these communication channels right into the Dynamics ecosystem. So if you look over here to the left, you can see a quick a screenshot of what our UI looks like, and I'll dive into a little bit more later during the demo video, so you can see some live use cases. But the core here is that we're essentially bringing customer care and customer service functionality like contact tracing. One of our customers, the NHS Wales, uses our SMS functionality and voice functionality to trace COVID patients, as well as just basic sales, marketing, and automation use cases across virtually horizontally across any industry. So financial services, healthcare, manufacturing, retail, government, not-for-profit, real estate, you name it. We usually have some type of use case that we can drive. And below you can see a few of our customers we have to date. That being said, we do have a pretty strong global SI and ISV network. You can see obviously Companion is on there from a marketplace perspective, but we also work with global SIs, not just in Europe, but also in North America and Asia Pac. So you can see a few of those logos we're working with today. And personally, I'm the VP of sales for Solgari. I'm looking to expand our partnership reach to more of a SMB focus. So we'll get to that here in a little bit on how we're going to drive some traction in the SMB markets. And obviously, we're looking to expand our partnership presence outside of the current partners you see on the screen. That being said, I think it's good to quickly lay out how we fit within the Microsoft ecosystem. So to the left, you can see the different channels we're bringing to the table. And as we go to the right, it gets a little bit more complex here. So I want everyone to understand that we are the PBX behind D365 and Teams, which means we're going to bring telephony functionality to D365 and Microsoft Teams. We're also going to bring that additional layer of a full contact center. And what this means is that you're going to have agent routing, not just off of voice, but also all of these other channels you see on the left. And the ability to automate processes on the back end through using Microsoft's Power Platform. So at the end of the day, Solgari sits right within the channel integration framework. And what that allows us to do is work off the entire Microsoft stack, not just omnichannel, not just customer service, but also D365 field service, sales, marketing, and of course, customer service and omnichannel as well. We also extend that capability into Microsoft Teams. So a lot of the use cases, for example, that Microsoft is coming to us with is that they want Teams to be the endpoint for their agents, which means they're getting Facebook messages, they're getting WhatsApp messages and phone calls right into the Microsoft Teams interface. And what Solgari is doing on the back end is dipping into Dynamics to bring the customer profile into the Teams interface. So now the agent can work right within Microsoft Teams and also have functionality like case management that's tying back into D365. So we're really wrapping all of the communication channels right into Teams or D365, wherever your agent would like to work within. We also have a standalone solution, but that's probably not as entertaining for the Microsoft partners we have here on the call. So you can see to the right here some of the business outcomes that are achieved by that, primarily things like first call resolution, which is extremely important when you think about the customer experience and making sure that when your customers call in, that you're actually resolving their pains. And one way to do that is to have a complete understanding of all the conversation history in one place. So you know the sentiment of that customer, how they need to be managed, and if they're a platinum tier customer or if they're just someone that needs a little bit of support. So these are the type of use cases that we're driving, and obviously it's all powered by the Microsoft stack. That being said, I do have a quick video I want to show you that just shows the user interface here.
Here we have a customer, James Page, dialing into a Solgari delivered customer service line with a post-sales query. The IVR can direct them to the relevant department. The call is routed to an agent based on the company's routing rules. The customer details pop on screen and the agent picks up the call. The agent can reference all historic communication with James to deliver contextual service and an effective outcome quickly and accurately.
Same use case is driven through SMS. So you just saw one channel there, which was voice. But I also want to skip ahead here and show the Teams integration we've got. So you can see here, this is just a teaser video. We released this earlier this month.
Converse
version 1 for
contact center
Teams
solution for Microsoft Teams, enabling agents to perform customer service, sales, and marketing via Teams across voice, SMS, WhatsApp, and Facebook Messenger from anywhere. Developed in response to real business need, enabling lightning fast speed to value and realizing tangible benefits. Equipping agents and supervisors with the tools, channels, and reporting to deliver exceptional customer experiences across all key industry verticals. Handle multiple sessions within and across all channels. Historic interactions listed chronologically for actionable customer context, with conversations logged for supervisor review, and much more that we'll be sharing with you in the coming weeks. Thanks for watching. Contact us today to learn more about the preview.
Perfect. I hope that gave you guys a quick little insight into, into what the user interface looks like and some of those common use cases that you'll see. Now, between Dynamics 365 and Teams, those are the core endpoints that we're working with. And that's going to enable you as a Microsoft partner to probably access different portions of projects that you likely weren't working with in the past. So I like to show this slide because I speak to a large amount of Microsoft resellers, and what generally happens in the sales process or new implementation of Dynamics is that they will usually scope in D365 for sales and marketing and focus there. And phase 3 might be customer service. But when it comes to the communication channels that are available, most Microsoft partners haven't adopted Microsoft's omnichannel just because licensing and training, and it's not a fully baked solution yet. And what ends up happening is instead of keeping the communications or contact center projects within the Dynamics ecosystem or within the Microsoft stack, they'll usually recommend third-party solutions, whether that's Genesys, Avaya, Five9. There's a ton of platforms that do what we do, but all of them sell themselves on having connectors within D365. Well, I'm sure, as most of you know, that is easier said than done. And the end goal for any customer should be to have this data in one central location. And so by choosing Solgari now as the contact center or as the communication layer behind all of the Dynamics projects, you're now opening the door to, for one, increased Dynamics licenses, because now the customer service agents are going to be working within Dynamics. And if that customer doesn't have Dynamics yet, they're just using Teams, this works as a clear bridge, as an on-ramp, you should say, to the whole Dynamics platform, because we can start very short-term in terms of giving communication and contact center functionality right within Teams. We're talking same-day setup. These are not long, strenuous projects like they were in the past. Solgari prides themselves on being very, very flexible, and our speed to value is a huge USP here. So for full contact centers, we'll take again the NHS Wales case. We stood up 1,100 agents in just 10 days and have them running from work from anywhere. So as long as you have a internet connection, you're going to be able to have access to Solgari and a single sign-on right into D365 and Teams, where Solgari sits right within that interface. And so we're allowing now to, instead of outsourcing through a third party to handle the contact center, to now utilize Solgari and keep your customer on the Microsoft stack. That's going to drive Teams consumption, and it's also going to drive Dynamics usage, obviously. That being said, another a reason we have strong partnerships is because at least in 2022, we've had 100% SLAs month over month. So in terms of risk of the project, there really is no risk at the moment in terms of our solution working the way it's supposed to. We've had 100% SLAs. So that being said, a lot of the Microsoft partners don't want to have the contact center conversations, whether that's lack of knowledge or just not having the bandwidth to pick up that project. And so again, you push to a third party. Well, Solgari is willing to do that sales work for you as well. So we are a tier 1 carrier. We have a fully trained staff, obviously, around contact center and communications. So you can lean on us as the kind of third arm for your sales team in terms of having the customer service and contact center conversations. And by doing that, it's going to compress your sales cycle. It's going to improve your customer satisfaction. And it's obviously going to keep your customers dedicated to the Microsoft stack instead of working in multiple systems on the back end. Just to tie it off here, we have released an SMB offering. So generally with the contact center comes very expensive pricing. And what we wanted to do at Solgari is allow the smaller players to act more like the enterprise players. And so this has been released on Companion's marketplace, and you'll find that it's virtually an all-you-can-eat communications platform for €45 per user. And the only other add-on there is if you want to record and archive, it's an extra €10 plus setup costs. So we're talking about a very inexpensive way to either deliver this to your Microsoft Teams customers, Dynamics customers, or customers that are using both, and allow communication channels seamlessly across the Microsoft stack. You will find some partner testimonials both from Microsoft and a few of the partners we've worked with in the past. But really, my main call to action from today is just to have you go back and reevaluate how you've treated the contact center conversations in the past, and now know that there's an option with Solgari, and you can always leverage myself and my team to support you in those conversations. So thanks again for having us. I hope to hear from a few of you after today, and thank you, Herman, for the invite here.